Real-time protection and heuristics. Beyond the marketing fluff, an antivirus boils down to real-time protection. This is the ruthless core engine defending the hardware. Everything else is just fresh paint on a totaled car. Old-school security software operated like a bouncer checking IDs against a static guest list, but modern malware constantly shapeshifts. The Emotet banking Trojan famously used this tactic. It mutated its own code to rack up hundreds of millions of dollars in global damages. A standard scanner is worthless against a threat like Emotet. The digital wanted poster is always out of date. This is where heuristic analysis takes over. Instead of relying on a static list, the heuristic engine observes what a file actually does. The software isolates any suspicious download inside a secure, invisible environment called a sandbox. It lets the file execute and monitors its behavior. Does it rapidly duplicate itself? Does it attempt to rewrite core registry keys? Is it trying to inject malicious code into essential system files? Every toxic action adds points to a real-time threat score. If that score hits 100, the antivirus terminates the process before it touches the operating system. Heuristics marks the definitive difference between catching a virus after a breach and killing the threat before it executes. Ransomware shields. In late 2023, a devastating ransomware attack brought the MGM Resorts empire to its knees. Hotel keycards failed, slot machines went dark, core corporate networks were paralyzed. The cost? Well, over $100 million in a matter of days. Because ransomware is the most profitable cybercrime on Earth, a dedicated ransomware shield is non-negotiable. Ransomware doesn't hide. It smashes right through the front door, scrambles personal files using unbreakable encryption, and demands cryptocurrency for the decryption key. Standard antivirus scanning often misses the initial threat. Why? Because the mere act of encrypting files isn't inherently malicious. Computers encrypt data for basic operational security every single day. A ransomware shield flips the defense strategy. It functions as a digital bank vault, locking down local folders entirely. It builds a strict whitelist of trusted applications, like Microsoft Word or Adobe Premiere, authorized to edit files inside those specific locations. If an unknown program or a disguised PDF attempts to mass modify 50 files in a single second, the ransomware shield snaps the vault shut. It kills the rogue process. It reverses the unauthorized changes. The malware crashes headfirst into an unbreakable brick wall. Web protection and anti-phishing. Right now, the single biggest vulnerability on any machine is human error. Hackers know it is 10 times easier to trick a user into handing over a password than it is to brute force a corporate network firewall. Take a standard phishing attempt. An urgent email arrives claiming an account is restricted. Clicking the link reveals a flawless website, complete with the secure padlock. But a quick glance at the URL bar exposes a brutal homograph attack. The hacker swapped a standard English letter for a visually identical Cyrillic character. Entering a password here wipes out the account. Web protection acts as a perimeter guard. The second a link is clicked, the browser attempts to connect to the host server. Before the page can even begin to render, the antivirus intercepts the connection. It tears through the underlying SSL certificates and source code, hunting for hidden credential-stealing scripts. If the architecture is deemed toxic, the antivirus severs the connection and throws up a red warning screen. The process is halted before a fatal mistake occurs. Network firewalls and vulnerability scanners. Windows comes with a built-in firewall. It blocks unsolicited incoming traffic. But standard firewalls do nothing to stop modern data exfiltration. A premium security setup requires a rigorous two-way firewall. A standard firewall checks people at the front door. A two-way firewall checks people leaving the building with stolen goods. If a piece of spyware burrows into a system, it has to send raw keystrokes and passwords back to the hacker's command and control server. A two-way firewall monitors all outbound traffic. If an unrecognized calculator app tries to upload a 50-megabyte file to an anonymous server, the firewall blocks the upload and flashes an alert. The malware is trapped, unable to phone home. But hackers also bypass firewalls by slipping through broken windows in existing software. When a critical vulnerability is discovered in an everyday program like Chrome, hackers can hijack a PC just by loading a laced image. A vulnerability scanner hunts down and patches those broken windows in local applications long before a hacker can climb through them. Password managers and identity monitoring. Most premium antivirus extras are useless bloatware, but two modern additions actually matter. First is the password manager. In 2021, a hacker forum published a massive compilation containing over 8 billion stolen passwords. Reusing the same password for an email, a bank account, and streaming services hands global cybercriminals a skeleton key. A password manager generates and stores impossible-to-guess passwords for every site. This leaves credential stuffing attacks dead in the water. A leaked password from one obscure site will never unlock another. Second is dark web monitoring. Even if a personal computer is a digital fortress, the massive corporate entities holding the data are not. When a global hotel chain gets breached, personal data is dumped onto the dark web. Identity monitoring relentlessly scans those underground hacker forums 24/7. The second information appears, a push notification hits the phone. It gives the massive head start needed to lock down exposed accounts before automated bots can weaponize the stolen credentials. If a disguised, shady invoice is accidentally double-clicked, the real-time heuristic engine checks the file's erratic behavior, scores it as a high threat, and terminates the code. The ransomware vault doors stay locked. The web perimeter remains intact. The outbound firewall sees zero stolen data leaving the network. This entire defensive sequence takes less than a tenth of a second. The millions of lines of heuristic analysis firing off in the background remain completely invisible. The only visible result is a quiet notification confirming the system is secure, allowing normal operations to immediately resume. The threat is dead before the user even realizes it existed. Cybersecurity is no longer a single program. It is a layered defense protocol. A firewall catches the network intrusion. Web protection stops the phishing link. Heuristics kill the mutating file. Ransomware shields protect the raw data. Modern malware does not attack one vector at a time. It hits simultaneously. A premium defense setup operates on the exact same principle. Relying on a single checkpoint is a guaranteed failure. The layers must overlap. They must work constantly, without hesitation. The moment they stop, the machine belongs to someone else.